was either retired, from some, or Marines, or a bounty hunter or something like that. So I had unlike other people, I had the opportunity to be trained. I also had karate classes, and I was already a potential street fighter. So, and I was able to hold myself down against little territorial gangs and stuff like that. So I know how to combat a situation, by hands-on training, not just more so book knowledge, or just a little training where you just faking it out, where you can't use what you've learned. I've been in situations where I had to use what I've learned, and I've seen it. I've been everywhere from buses to streets to everywhere, and I've been able to combat and make it through what other people couldn't, because they weren't well trained or equipped on how to deal with it, how to deal with a situation, and how do you outsmart your opponent. You can outsmart your opponent, your assailant, that comes up against you with defenseless tactics. I mean, that's all they're coming with, defenseless tactics. Once you pass through their defenseless tactics and strategies, it's pretty much a done deal. Once you see through all of the smoke screen stuff and all of the words and all of the drama and everything, and you see what position they in, and you do a random search on who that individual is, you're starting to figure out, 9 times out of 10, you're just dealing with somebody that's a wounded individual, who had puffed themselves up, to do something. And the flip side to this is they also have either been influenced by other people that are doing the same thing, or thinking about doing something similar to them, because birds of a feather flock together. So 9 times out of 10, if you show me who your friends are, I can show you who you are, who you're going to become, or who you are right now. And that's what was taught to me by actually my mother's ex-husband, who was pretty much doing everything, from a bounty hunter to a police officer to a Marines. So he was trained to, they trained to do what? To kill you, So one of the things, that I'm thankful today that I can be able to do is I know how to do those fundamentals. I'm trained to do that, I'm in a trained position. I know what to do, how to do it, when to move. I know all of that. I know all of the fundamentals of how to combat a person, whether the assailant is 3 times bigger than me, or not. I still know how to detach them and make them look like, they were less than me, because all I'm looking at is an unhealthy person, first of all. You understand? A person that's unhealthy, and I'm looking at it from a perspective that I got another side that of me. I got a spiritual side, so I can also see that person got a bunch of demons, or influence with demonic influences. So I can basically decipher a person. You understand? Not only do I have street knowledge, I also have the other perspective knowledge, and I got kingdom of God knowledge. So when a person got them 3, man, that's a person that can do some damage. You understand? To know, first of all, the first thing that we are taught is that a person is influenced by demonic activity. You know what I'm saying? Then on the street side, I just look at a person that person is defined as what, a coward. You understand? And then on the other side, you might be looked at as a selling or something like that, or a terrorist. 9 times out of 10, if a person want to beef it out with me and they know what I'm a part of, I'm looking at you like a terrorist. And you know what happened to people who are terrorists? They don't last long. You understand? Because not only am I looking to do something, but you got a whole bunch of other people now that want you. You understand? Because the place where we're in today, in America, people are tired of terrorists. And what is the definition of a terrorist? A person that's causing terror, or a person that's bringing fear upon other people. You understand? That's unconscious, without empathy. You can be that and not even be part of Al Qaeda. You ain't got to be ISIS. You could just be a random individual that's causing chaos to other people who ain't done nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? So then you looking like you're trying to establish something. So now you got now you're going to have the whole military up on you. Then you're going to have the, global police force on you. Then everywhere you go, they tracking you, and this, that, and the other, because now they know that person is a potential terrorist. It ain't just one person that's going to want you. It's going to be a whole bunch of people, because once they find out, oh, this person, is coming at one of ours like this, that, and the other, and we watching every potential step that they make while they watching them. So at the same time, you got to understand something. This is where we're headed at. So if a person is thinking to do terroristic acts, I would encourage you to stop in advance. You understand? Because it's going to look very difficult, because you don't want to get bombed, or, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to have to stay up for the rest of your life thinking that, somebody, from some other specialized organization coming through, to take your life. You don't want nobody to. You don't want to be in a position where somebody that is definitely assigned to end terrorism, come up against you and take you out because of your acts of terrorism. You know what I'm saying? And today, and what we see in our communities, I said it for the longest, that the terror alert level was at an all-time high, because we have people in the communities that are mentally incapable of handling their own selves. And so they need, there is intense warfare that's needed against people. You understand? And some of them, if they don't advisably go get the help themselves, because everyone goes through something. But if you're going through something, you put that on just anybody and just make outstanding outbursts at any given time, that's potentially, that's just crazy. Like the police shooting of the domestic violence case, the guy fired at the officer. Now, dude, you gotta go in there with them watching you, so you ain't got no safety realistically, because now you're gonna be looked at as a potential terrorist. You understand? Even though the little guys in there, might pay homage and respect. Oh, you did this, that, and the other. The truth is, you for the rest of your life now, dude, you gotta walk on thin ice, because you don't know. Somebody could possibly took that the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? That has gave their life and And when all of them get together, they start talking about, what I'm saying, the next time somebody do this, that, and other, this is going to take place. So people think that other folks don't think that they put their life on the line, man. There's one thing you don't know about that. If you just out here on that make-believe gangster movie stuff and hip-hop stuff, you better think different. You understand? It's more different than that. It's more different than what you see in the movies. It ain't nothing like the movies out here. I had a grandfather who, was very skillful and trained. Wayne County, what I'm saying? Got a grandmother that used to be in a probate court. I got an uncle that's a probation officer, so I pretty much thank God that I didn't have to go into those dimensions like that. I'm actually, proud to say that I'm doing something, you understand, even if I found myself doing nothing, because sometimes you don't really need to do nothing unless something happen. I mean, that's the easiest, and I love to do it. This is something I love to do because I grew up, had to defend my mother, at times. So against other assailants that was brutish, that wanted to rape and, do things like that. And I had to get in a position to take a stand, even though I didn't want to. I had to do stuff when my father was there, but my father did his potential work. He did his assignment as a father. He taught me the basic things. And some people may never really understand. And that's why I can't, sometimes I wanted to say it, but I could never really say that my father was a coward. I couldn't say that he was a coward because he wasn't. That would be realistic, because this guy was in field artillery, one. And then number two, he was a drill sergeant, you understand? So he was giving orders to a whole lot of other people, you know what I'm saying? And then, my mother, she went in military for a little sector season. So I'm like militaried all out. You understand? It's military blood in me. So when people start hollering and stuff, I be looking like, oh, dude, you ain't seen nothing. I can get past that. As long as you don't make no attempt to do nothing else, you all right. You'll live. You know what I'm saying? You will live abundant life. You know what I'm saying? And then the flip side of it, when you dealing with a situation, people, you got to understand, I got another side. And that other side is spiritually. So then that don't make it no better, because now I can look at a person like, this person is demonically influenced. Now I can really deal with this situation, because now I'm going to look at it like, this person got demons in them from the year on or what has turned up their mind. They just they mind getting the train run on them. You understand? Because they ain't praying. You understand? When a person ain't spending time praying, then they letting demons run a train in their mind, in their brains. When you ain't praying, you got spirits that are looking to get in bodies. If you ain't ever heard about when the demons leave a body, they go back and they try to come 7 times more stronger. So I know about that. I know when a demon come in, I'll be like, okay, it ain't in me. So the spirit is trying to cause me to respond to them. But I'll be like, nah. See, when you give a demon attention, then it gets you, but when you let it go and flee and it think, it might meditate. Demons try to meditate. And see, these is another fact that you can learn in public safety, because You gotta now know that this person not just psychologically crazy, but they demonically influenced.